All right, guys, I would like to show you how to do a prediction from a line of best fit. You can also use this skill anytime you have a line and you want to know a point on that line. So let's get started. All right, so I would like to mention this is one way of doing it. There are multiple ways, as usual, of doing a math problem. So I would like to show you, since star is upon us, the star strategy that we have been practicing using the stat feature in your TI-84. Okay, anytime you have 2 points, okay, look, we have a line with so many points, an infinite number of points because we have an arrow going this way and going this way. So this line goes forever and ever and ever in both directions. And we have all these locations, right? You could pick any points, but hey, guess what? Thank you, Delta Math. You've already given me 2 points and it's making it easy for me. So anytime you have 2 points, I want you to go to your stat button and hit enter, and we're going to edit these lists. Now, we could put a million points in this table of values, but we don't need to. At minimum, we need 2 points to determine a line. So I'm going to type in 60 for the X value and 197 for the Y. And in this table of values, list 1 will be the X and list 2 will be the Y, alphabetical order. So easy to remember. So I'm going to hit 60 and then enter to store that value. And then we can arrow around to go back and type in the Y values. So once you have, now wait a second, did I do that right? 63, 204, and 61. Yes. So once you have 2 points from a line, you can write an equation of that line. And it takes multiple steps on paper and it takes multiple steps on the calculator. But I'm going to show you the calculator trick today. So we went to stat and we are editing our list. We put our points in. Now go back to stat and we need to scroll to the right to calc. And since we have a line, a linear function, we need to select option 4. You could arrow down or just hit the number 4 for LIN REG. Linear regression, you don't really need to know that, but LIN, it looks like the first part of line. So hopefully that will help you remember. And you're going to hit enter. And then it's going to give you all these settings that you can change. We don't want to change anything. So hit enter, 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 until it gives you the equation of the line. So y equals ax plus b. Now in the calculator, they use a and b. On your formula chart and in any math textbook, slope will always be m. And so you will see it otherwise, y equals mx plus b. Let me show you on your formula chart, hang tight. Okay, I pulled up the formula chart. And as you can see, this very first one for linear equations, slope-intercept form, that's the equation of a line. We call it that because the slope is listed first and the y-intercept is listed second. So y equals mx plus b. So it's very similar to what the calculator decided to use, a and b versus m and b. So hopefully you can just remember that the slope is typically m, but it's always what's stuck to your x value. So if we look back at our equation, you see they say ax plus b, and a, whatever stuck to x, is your slope. 2.33 repeating, and then your y-intercept is 57. So if I were to write this equation, I would, we'll do this. Okay. I would write it like this. Oh, try that again. Okay. Y equals 2.3333 repeating x plus 57. That is the equation of this line. Once you have an equation of a line, you can find out anything you want to find out. So all we have to do is go to the y equals, oops, I gotta go back to my mouse here. Let me see if I can move this. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go back to my calculator and I'm gonna go to the y equals button. These buttons along the top are all your graphing buttons. Okay, so all in gray, and it's a graphing calculator, so it's at the very top. Okay, and then these colored keys will give you anything in that color. So if I want to quit and go back to the home screen, I'm going to hit the mode button. But if I just hit the mode button, it gives me what's in white and black, not what's in blue. So to get what's in blue, I hit second mode, and that will quit me out of anywhere I want to be, right? So here is the graphing button. Very, very helpful. But you see, I already have a graph, so I really don't need that. What we care about is the table of values. So I'm going to make sure and hit the blue button second before I hit graph so that I can get that blue feature. All right, so that was the stat feature. We wrote an equation of the line, and a lot of times that's all you need. If they want to know the slope, you got it. It's 2.33 repeating. If they want the y-intercept, you've got it. It's 57. If they want the equation, you've got it. Those are common questions. But for this one, we had to find, and I didn't even read it, but here's the question. What will be the predicted femur length for someone with a height of 218? Okay, so what they gave us was a height of 218. So go to your labels. You'll always have labels. Here's height in centimeters. Height. Okay, so they gave us the y value, the height. They said the height is 218. That's the y value. So I need to find the x, okay? So if they'd told us, now wait a second. What would be the predicted femur length? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Just double checking the labels. So they gave us y is 218. All right, what do we do with that? Once you have a y equals equation, all you got to do is graph it. Go to the y equals. You can clear out anything that's there or just type directly on top of it. 2 point. Now, this is tricky. When it's repeating, you have to make sure the calculator knows it's repeating. So 2.33333333, right? You could change it to a fraction if you prefer. I'll show you that in a minute. Otherwise, you just want to make sure it goes all the way across the screen. Your goal is to get 9 or greater digits. I don't count. I just go 3 until it gets towards the end of the screen, and then I continue on. The X button is next to the green button. You need to memorize that location. Okay, it has a bunch of other Greek symbols on there we'll never use. This is your X button. All right, and then plus 57. And we could graph it, but we don't need that. We need a table of all the values so that we can scroll to 218. So let's go second graph. It will take us to our table. Now, we have the y values, so you want to be careful. Most of the time, they'll give you the x. This one's a little different. They ask for the y. All right, so I need to find where the y value is 218. Do you see right now I'm at 306? I'm going to scroll up and look for 218. Okay, we're getting there. Getting there. Yeah, oh, I saw it and I passed it. There it is right there. The y is 218. So since y has a label of height, the height is 218 when the x is 69. So my answer is, and let me move this out of the way, 69 is the number that goes with the height of 218. Yes. Okay, if that was enough to get you started, go ahead and stop the video and try it and see how you do. I'm going to do one more example just to reiterate everything that we've done so far. All right, so delete all this. Okay, so to get out of anywhere, we can hit second. Oh no, that didn't work. Second mode, and it takes us back to our home screen. All right, so I'm not even going to read about this. Oh, this is the same one. Next problem. I'm not going to even read about Salma and the part-time job. Okay, what I care about is I realize that I have a line here. It's a scatter plot and a line of best fit. And they want me to see how many hot cocos when it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So find Fahrenheit, 30 degrees. Oh, here we go. Fahrenheit degrees, 30. And if it's on your graph, like if it were 10, you just look up and say, oh, there it is. But do you see how the graph stops at 24? We need to go to 30. So this would be, unless you have to just make an estimate, if we have to find exactly what it is, we are going to have to write an equation of a line and then put it in our y equals to see the table of values. So let's do it. I'm going to pick 2 points. They gave me 3. Okay, I only need 2 to go to the stat button. So it's stat edit, stat calc 4. You might want to write that down and remind yourself, because you cannot do this cool trick, and this will serve you well next year in algebra class, unless you know stat edit, stat calc 4. So we're going to go to stat, and we're going to hit enter because we have to put these points in. So I'll just do 0 and 10, and I'm going to scroll around and see, I can just write it directly on top. Okay, you could delete, but I just wouldn't. Just put them directly on top. 092, 1084. 092, 1084. Okay, now that we have put that in our list, go back to stat, and we want to toggle to the right to calc and go to option 4 and hit enter. We don't want to change any settings. So enter, 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 enter. Okay, the equation of the line, I'm going to write it here, is y equals negative 0.8x plus 92. If we needed to change that negative 0.8 to a fraction, we could. You use the math button. You just hit math, enter, enter. I can show you real quick. 0.8. Oh, I'm still on my drawing tools. Stop. Okay. All right. Negative 0.8. We go to math, enter, enter. And negative 4/5 is the equivalent fraction for negative 0.8. So you could put it in fraction form or decimal form. But I'm not going to just go to the extra step of doing the fraction. So I'm just going to type it in exactly as I saw it. Negative 0.8x. Oops. Okay, what happens if you make a mistake? Toggle right on top of it. You can either DEL delete it or just put the right thing on top. There we go. All right, plus 92. So we type in our y equals into our y equals button, and then we need to go second graph to our table of values. And we're looking for 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and degrees is the label for X. So this time they gave us the X value of 30. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to scroll up and down until I see 30. And it has to be 30 for the X. Okay, there it is. When X is 30, which is degrees Fahrenheit, Y is 68. So he's going to sell 68 hot cocos in 30-degree weather. You can see how if you practice this a few times, it's really a helpful tool. Okay, there are other ways of going about it. And if you'd like to know those other ways, you can click watch the help video and you can see how to do it without that calculator trick. But I would like you to practice this, because anytime you are given points or a line or a graph, you can use this trick to write the equation of the line, find the slope, find the y-intercept, or make predictions. Okay, I hope that helped. If you need anything else, you can feel free to come into my classroom during office hours.